Hello guys, welcome to Wrist. I'm your host. In today's video I want to discuss whether date or non-date is the way to go. At first, the main difference is of course the obvious lack of date function at 3 o'clock. For Submariner non-date reference 114060, the one I'm wearing for this video. Instead, the dial is complemented by a black dial set with all matching numerals. This is the option for people who like clean and unclustered watches. As for myself, I've been struggling to find the perfect sweet spot of having a clean and unclustered timepiece that would be functional at the same time. Date display is one of the most frequently used complications that I use every day, honestly, when wearing a timepiece. However, recently I've come to conclusion that when comparing Submariner date with non-date, I do prefer the non-date. It's quite interesting to see the actual luminescent hour markers instead of the Cyclops and date display, and visually this is the only difference between the two models, Submariner date and Submariner non-date. They are all water resistant to 300 meters, they have the same diving bezel, case and so on. One of the differences is the price point. The new model reference 126610LN is £7,300 and the non-date version 124060 is £6,450. The latter model features a movement that you could find in some Rolex entry-level models, like for example previous Oyster Perpetual 34 and 36 that are now discontinued. However, in general you get a classic looking sub, as the very original one did not have a date function. It's robust, sturdy, and there is not much that can go wrong with it, and you can enjoy the beautiful Loom with all hour markers in place. With this one you'll appreciate the symmetry of the dial. As for the lack of date, one could say that majority of people still use their phones to check the date when needed, and this solves everything. However, then you could argue, what's the point of wearing watches if you could just check time, date and whatever you desire with use of your smartphone? So I think there must be some sort of balance where watches are still functional instruments that accompany you every day, whatever you do, and they are not just a statement of fashion. But as with everything, everyone has its own perception of what's good for him. For many years I've been into Sea Dweller series, as they were some sort of a middle ground between Submariner date and non-date. In this case you basically had a date function without the Cyclops, so some people prefer that because they just don't like the use of the Cyclops, or for some it just looks a bit tacky. So now the question is, if you were to choose between Submariner date and Submariner non-date, which one would you choose, or which one did you actually choose when buying your Rolex timepiece? I would really like to hear your comments on Submariner date versus non-date, which one you prefer personally, and do you like the date function or you don't mind not having the date function on your watch? Is it important for you, and so on. As for myself, I think for now, very recently, I've noticed something about Submariner non-date that gets my attention, and for now I think if I were to buy a classic sub, I'm not talking about Hulk or Kermit or anything like this, if I were to go for a classic Submariner for now, I would go for a Submariner non-date for now. And I might change my mind in a few weeks or few months time, but for now I would say non-date is the way to go. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe to Wrist, and stay tuned for more. Bye.